Hey, I'm CTWE Wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends that Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
It's Thursday night here on Vidane TV, and you know what that means. It is NEPs night in America, baby. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth alongside me, the legendary Tim Terry. Tim, how's it hanging tonight?
Yeah, so far so good. Getting ready to see these guys go green for 100 laps of the bull ring. Tight little racetrack. These heavy Xfinity cars are going to put on a show. And I was just listening into the drivers' meeting that Corey Casagrande gave, and pretty much a quick little Tom Mayberry drivers' meeting. Starting and ending with you guys know the deal. So this should be quick, and these guys know what they're doing, and this should be a fun race tonight.
100%, 100 laps on the docket here at the Bull Ring, the smaller racetrack here at Las Vegas. Tomorrow's race being postponed. A couple of drivers not able to make the show tomorrow night, so we're going to kick that on down the road. But 15.25 second lap times, easy enough for me to say, here at the Bull Ring. It's going to be quick and dirty here, and it's going to be interesting to watch. Been watching practice here for the past half hour, maybe 45 minutes or so. A lot of drivers real loose coming out of the corner, so this is definitely going to be interesting. Taking a quick peek at the points here, Stephen Daddio in the 99 car up in the front. The Island Boys, Zane Farrell in the 14 car, running second in points, about 10 points behind the leader. Keith Lord in third. Canada's own Brent Roy in the 26 car running fourth in points. Jason Ricker in fifth, and the reigning, defending, two-time champ John Peters all the way back down in ninth, tied for ninth place with Anthony Aiello. Not the start of the season that he wanted to have, but you got to figure the champ is definitely going to try and bounce back here at the Bull Ring.
Yeah, you look at Ryan Libby down in 17th in the point standings as well. So there are some drivers that need that we're used to seeing near the front of the point standings that need to get a couple of good runs in here. Kenny Kibbe, another one of them, actually tied for 17th with Ryan Libby. As the session completes, we are getting ready to grid these cars and go racing. And the one thing you're going to see here, Paul, is that your point leader, Stephen Daddio, starts 18th. Brent Roy was, I think, 8th or 7th in practice. He starts 23rd here this evening. So two of your top five in points have a hole to dig out of early in this one.
And you can see there John Peters qualifying in third place, the reigning defending two-time champ. Going to see what he can do in that 09 car. Pretty much almost identical lap times with Kenny Kibbe, Ryan Libby up on that front row. And tonight's in-race reporter Mike Hopkins in the 78 car is going to be starting on the outside of row number 2. And that's going to be absolutely exciting to watch.
And Magnum, you have to look deep in the standings to try to see where he is. He's 16th in the point standings. So he's got a little work to do, but let's see if we can't get a hold of Mike Hopkins. Mike, you got a copy? Mike Hopkins, Tim Terry up in the Vidane booth. You got a copy?
You got me, Timmy?
Yeah, we got you now. What do you got to do to win this thing tonight?
First and foremost, we're real excited to be up in the booth here. A great question. I think that you're going to have to save your right front 100% here. You're going to have to survive a few wrecks. I mean, we qualified fourth, which is, in anybody's opinion, a little surprising for us. But, these guys up front here are pretty quick, so you have to beat them. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but save the right front and try not to wreck.
1 degree, and we'll chat with you throughout the evening.
10-4.
That's Mike Hopkins. He's going to roll off position number 4. And Paul, as we mentioned, got to dig deep a little bit here in the point standings, albeit it is still very early in this Shift Marketing Design Grand National Series season.
And you can see a solid field here tonight. 26 Xfinity Series cars here on this short little bull ring of a racetrack. And you can see almost a quarter of the way wrapped around the car when they're stacked up 2 by 2. Pace car is going to jump down pit road. He's going to get himself a corn dog and a nice cold Coke. Flash bulbs out in the stands are flashing. Green flag is in the air. And we're racing here at the bull ring.
And you mentioned what you saw in practice, Paul, with these cars trying to step out on each other coming out of turn 2 and coming out of turn 4. Heavy race cars, lots of power, and not a whole lot of grip, especially early in the race to really put. Oh, hello. Hopkins into the back of Boilo for position number 4. And again, short track racing. roll into the throttle, and might have rolled in a little too deep on that first exchange, but he's going to go to the inside. Evan going to give him some room, and they're going to go side by side for that spot.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of these guys race side by side and in groups all throughout the final practice here this evening at the Bull Ring, and you can see one of the cars off the pace. I believe that's DJ Gerard in the 13 car getting collected by the field, so he's going to be the first car to go one lap down here, down 10 positions, so might have had himself a little bit of an incident. But as this race goes on, as the tires start to wear a little bit, I think these drivers are going to start utilizing more and more of the racetrack, but right now everybody right down on that bottom side.
Just trying to get some laps in here early. Kenny Kibbe, your leader, with John Peters in second, Ryan Libby in fourth, Hopkins, and looks like Evan might have taken a spot back from Casagrande. They are battling back there for position number 5, and Dylan Kopech back here as well. It's good to oh, hello, and he's in the wall. I was going to say it's good to see him here tonight, but that's not the welcome that he wanted here on Bedane TV on a Thursday night.
Yeah, you can see getting a little bit squirrely there in the 16 car, first race of the season here for season number 3 in the New England, Pennsylvania Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. Up into the fence a little bit early on here on lap number 7. You can see a lot of damage on the right side of that car. But it looks like he's going to get himself an opportunity to work on it just a little bit. It appears Corey Casagrande is taking that 7 CT car around once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. And we'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay for the very first time here on lap number 7.
And Corey was battling there for, I think, within the top 5, or was battling with Kopech, I think, at the time, Paul, and might have fallen back here. What you got?
Yeah, we'll take a peek here. We're going to take a nice wide-angle view, and you can see Corey's in that black and red number 7 car. There's the incident with Dylan Kopech that we saw live, and you can see Corey Casagrande kind of blinking out, having some connection issues there, and I think that may very well have been what brought out the caution. I'm not seeing any other drivers pointed in the wrong direction, so it may very well have just been a little bit of a glitch in the matrix, as it were. Nope, there's the incident. The Corey Casagrande car gets spun around about a lap later after those connection issues, and then he gets called down to the, you can see, having some connection issues, blinking in and out, and unfortunately made contact with one of the orange and black cars. I didn't quite see the number on it. That's going to be the leader, the number 4 car of Kibbe, so going to be some front-end damage on that 4 car for sure, Tim.
And for the Corey Casagrande fans, his quality is currently at 15 and still tanking, which means he will probably fall out of the server here fairly shortly and try to get back in. That's the way this story goes. Connection issues and what have you do happen in this thing that we call iRacing. So Casagrande is falling out of the server, so if he can get back in, he should be back in here in just a couple laps, but a little bit of damage to the back end of his race car, and we'll see what it affects Kenny Kibbe. The 4 car going to lead this, but have a little bit of damage probably to the front end of the car, but Paul, I think it's probably just going to be a little bit of cosmetic damage, but we'll see what happens when we throw the green flag here in a couple laps.
Yeah, it wasn't too big of a hit, just kind of a little bumper car action from the 4 to the 7 CT, and looking at the car as it gets around, it looks like Kibbe's going to be okay. There's not any kind of heavy damage on the front of that race car, and John Peters had the best seat in the house for that. And it's always fun to talk with these NEPs guys because they've got their own version of Larry Mack, and we want to talk to Larry Mack. 10, 11 laps into this 100-lapper here. Larry Mack, Paul Strickland up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys.
I just got to ask you here, this is the first time we've seen the Bull Ring here, this short of a track on Bedane TV for season number 3. What have you got to do to get to victory lane here?
Well, guys, today's keys to the race. Don't crash, stay out of trouble, take care of them tires, and try to be ready for Larry Mack's trends at the end, guys.
100%. Larry Mack, voiced by the reigning and defending 2-time champion here in NEPs, getting ready to go green. Get back to work. You got a race to win.
10-4.
Getting ready to go green flag racing once again here at the Bull Ring, and there is the jump from the 4 car. Beautiful restart for Kibbe. He's going to clear John Peters by about a car length as they shoot on down in the turn number 1.
And I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to jinx anything, but these guys were relatively calm, cool, and collected on the first run of this race. They got into a rhythm. They found a formation to kind of get some laps in as Marhefka takes a look at Hopkins for position number 4, and everybody's bunched up tight on the restart. The outside line at this point, not the place to be, so Marhefka going to try to make that inside line work and pick up a spot. Austin Bulkey in the 24 stock. Oh, hello. In turn number 4, we get an issue, and that will draw the caution.
Caution flag out one more time here at the Bull Ring, and almost to be expected here. Very, very short little racetrack 15-second lap times we made mention a little bit earlier on, and there's really nowhere to go when unfortunately there is an event here. And see if we can pull it up here with the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, just rewinding the tapes as it were and looking exactly where that incident was.
I think it starts around the 17 car as one of the first cars to take a twirl, Paul, but about half the field at the back got a little bit of damage to their race car. We'll wind it back from the start and take a look at this.
Taking a look right from the restart. We're going to focus in on that 17 car, the Toyota Camry there of Keith Lord. And you can see kind of mid-pack right now, having a little 2x2 in front, 2x2 behind, and everybody gets bunched up in the corners here. As you can see, it's really tough to see where these guys are going to brake, where they're going to accelerate on the corners. Everybody's got a different line, a different style. Still focusing in the center of your screen, the black and orange number 17 car. And there's the initial contact. Gets a little bit of help from his friends. Number 3 car in behind him, Dylan Kopeck involved. Zane Farrell does a great job sliding on through unscathed there. There's DJ Gerard caught up in an earlier incident. Looks like he caught himself a free pass, and he is back on the lead lap. But looks like the 17 car of Keith Lord has himself a little bit of damage to work on.
I think the biggest damage might be Stephen Daddio besides that number 17 of Keith Lord. And you look at it, Keith Lord, 3rd in points, Stephen Daddio, 1st in points, and Zane Farrell slid through that accident, and he is currently 2nd in the point standings. I think Zane is going to be fine, but the other two are going to have to fight a little bit of damage. I know Stephen did not come down pit road to get his quick repair, so I'll put that in the back of your mind as we get ready to go back to green. Top 5, same as it was in the last restart, with the exception of Marhefka moving to 4th in the 22, and Hopkins back to position number 5. Pace car is in, and the field will work through corners number 3 and 4. They were told not to start until the middle of 3 and 4, and there is Kibbe firing at the box. Green flag flies. We're back underway.
Green flag flying once again, already just about a quarter distance here in this one. Working lap number 19. Kibbe up front, John Peters right in behind him, and Libby in the 46 car there in 3rd. The in-race reporter Mike Hopkins running in 4th, and Marhefka, Devin Marhefka in the 22 car, side by side now on the outside of Mike Hopkins, trying to take away that 4th spot.
Trying to swap that position that they swapped in the last restart, and the 56 of Boilo trying to take the inside. He'll do so in the 22, and they'll go side by side for position number 5. And Marhefka on the opposite line that he was on the last restart. He'll move to the outside and lose a couple, and Jason Ricker going to try to get to the inside here. Great run early for the 9 as he works to the inside, looking to pick up one more.
And you got to give a call to these guys. Beautiful paint schemes here throughout the New England, Pennsylvania Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. One of the rules this year that the race officials put out was that you had to race a real paint scheme, either something that you've driven in real life or something that you might crew on or spot for or something along these lines. So a lot of these paint schemes may very well look familiar to you just because you've seen them at a real racetrack. Always one of the cool things is we have a battle for the lead now side by side. Champ John Peters up on the high side trying to make the magic happen, trying to get around Kenny Kibbe in that number 4 car for the lead.
Yeah, Peters was able to get by on the inside line and take that lead, but it was a quick crossover by Kenny Kibbe to go back to the inside, and Kibbe will take that spot back. And the only thing that it did was close in the 3rd and 4th place battle. Ryan and Evan going at it, and Evan just got the back bumper, the 46, and the caution flag will fly one more time, the 3rd caution flag of the evening, so that'll slow it down. And there's that damage to the back of the 99 that we saw there a little bit earlier on of your point leader, Stephen Daddio, but we'll back it up and see what brought out of the caution with the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And about middle of the pack here, Paul. I think drivers scattering right in front of Salvatore.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to take a look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Take a nice little wide-angle shot here and show you exactly what happened. A little bird's eye view, as it were. But there you can see Stephen Daddio getting a little bit of help from Dylan Kopeck, getting spun on around. Didn't hit anything. That's definitely good news. All that damage there on that race car from a previous incident on the back of the 99 car is a good shot of the damage. Good shot of the damage on the front side as well. And we're going to back this up, take one more peek at it. Really just kind of looked like a couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate. But Kopeck definitely a little bit aggressive on that bottom side, down on the apron. Kind of came up just a little bit, and a couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate at the same time. Never really works either in the real world or the sim racing world. So tough break for the points leader, involved in a couple of incidents early on here. Currently scored 20th, but he is still on the lead lap, so that's definitely good news for the 99 cat.
So the good news is that I believe they have a quick repair sitting in the pits, Paul. The bad news is that these caution laps are so quick that you're going to have to come down, take the quick repair, and get out on the racetrack. Can't do anything essentially to that race car, especially if you're sitting back there where that 99 car is, just inside the top 20. You don't have a whole lot of time to get down into pit road. And oh, by the way, 15-second laps under green. These drivers are doing 37, 38-second laps, I believe, under caution. So if you're at the back and you're half a lap down when you come down pit road, you can't really spend a lot of time on pit road because these guys are going to come by and put a lap on you, and you'll be a lap down. Then you're behind the 8 ball trying to get the free pass and hope there's a caution. And then, oh, by the way, there's probably only 25 laps at that point by the time you get back there. So a guy like Daddy-O, yeah, he's the point leader. Yeah, it would make sense for him to come down and get a quick repair because he doesn't have the track position. But it's not as easy, especially at a short track like the Bull Ring, as the pace car gets ready to peel in here. Kibbe was the leader when we went to caution. He'll have Peters to the outside.
Already approaching a third distance here, lap number 30 as we cross the stripe for the restart. Kibbe on the bottom side, Peters on the high side. Another beautiful restart for that number 4 car. He's going to almost clear Peters. Peters charging hard on the high side. The 78, Mike Hopkins around. That's going to collect a couple of cars. The 13 involved as well. We're stacking them up here coming out of turn number 2.
So Mike Hopkins will go around and we'll cue up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay one more time. And Paul, we kind of saw it with Ryan Libby on the start where these guys were playing a little bumper tag trying to get by, and I think might have saw a little bit of bumper tag there between the 78 and the 13.
Yeah, a couple of drivers thinking they're a little bit further into the race than we are, I think, getting the aggression up a little bit early and really just trying to be the life of the party and trying to get on the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. But there you can see the 13 car getting into the back of the 78, getting them kind of pushed on around, and as the drivers kind of come through, the field comes through, they try to avoid calamity, and there you see Kopech up in the wall with, I believe that's the 76 car up there of Matt Kenfield, owner of Shift Marketing and Designs, and he's able to grab a gear, drive on away. It looks like Kopech's able to roll away there as well. So they do still have that quick repair in the bag. Scott McDonald in the 44 car, he's going to come down pit road. I believe he might try and use that quick repair. Got a little bit of damage on that 44 car, but everybody else still electing to stay out on the track. The 17 car comes down pit road as well. He's got a lot of damage on that machine. So, but everybody else, everybody in the top 13 or so, still out on track on the same set of tires that we started qualified with, and still working with a little bit of damage throughout the field, as it looks like.
Yeah, when you look at that incident, the 78 of Hopkins kind of left a half a hole open. The 13 kind of took that half hole, and it closed up really quickly. And it just looked like the 13 got on the brakes, and when you get on the brakes in this car, it tends to go straight, and that's what happens. Stacks a couple of cars up, and we come back to green, and or come back to caution, and I think we're getting ready to come back to green. Quick cautions here is the lights atop the pace car are out, so next time by we will go back to green, and we'll see who gets the advantage here on the front row. Kenny Kibbe, John Peters, your top two will have 34 laps completed when they come back across the stripe, and we'll see if we can get some green flag racing in here. Is Kibbe going to control this restart? Waiting for at least 3 and 4 to fire, but brought him down to about that second line the last time. He's going to do the same thing here. Green flag flies.
And you saw the 76 car of Matt Kenfield get the wave around. He is back on the lead lap, getting 24 cars on the lead lap currently. And there you can see another beautiful restart for the number 4 car of Kibbe. He's got about a car length in behind him to John Peters, who's right in his tire tracks. And then a little 2-line action, singles it back out to 46 to 56, battling for that third spot. But here comes Austin Belke in at that number 24 car, trying to make that high side work for him.
The 9, I think, might have had a little bit. Oh, we got one around. Still green flag racing, though. That is the 81, as he'll grab a gear and get going again. Dan Winter at the back of the field. But it looked like the 9 car had a little bit of encouragement from Brandon Newhouse to get by to the inside of Bulky and dispatch the 24 car back a position or two. But the 9 car has been consistent, just hanging around the top 5 now, in the top 5. Looking at those top 4 in front of him, single. Oh, LLO, that's not good. The 75 car around and half saved it. That's not going to work to the inside. He goes, and we are, nope, there's the caution.
Caution flag comes out. That's going to be David Arute in the number 75 car. And again, the 99 car, the points leader, Daddy-O, having a rough go of it here at the Bull Ring, involved in another one. And as you made mention, Tim, he almost had that car saved about twice. Those drivers wrecked for about an entire half a lap here, and we'll take a look here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. You got to check these things out. Kong.2drunk.net. They just released a very special Veterans Day memorabilia cup or Kong Beer Bong that you can check out. But there you can see the 75 saves it, overcorrects it, gets the thing spun around once again, and that's where the caution flag flies. And adds a little bit more damage to the number 99 car, the points leader of Stephen Daddio. So he's still having a rough go of it, holding on to the 19th position, right about where he qualified earlier on here tonight. Hasn't really gone too far forward, hasn't really gone too far backwards, but not quite the points line he's been looking for.
And Paul, I think our in-race reporter was involved in that one too. Went that 3-wide move to the inside. Mike Hopkins, I think, tried to get the coupon book out and take 2 for 1. I think he did, but getting ready to come to 1 to go here, I believe. The race officials, no, we're still 2 to go. The race officials on the last caution, though, Paul, found the one thing that I found on Tuesday night, which is the pace laps command they put into iRacing since obviously NEPs was off during the summer. We were off during the summer. It speeds up the cautions a little bit. So they found that to kind of get a couple of extra caution laps cut out here in the middle portion to get some green flag racing for us. But that 78 car, middle of the pack, still working his way back up in front, yet to crack the top 10 again, sitting in position number 15. And I think they're coming to 1 to go here, so maybe we'll talk to him under the next caution. Light field will double up and behind the pace car. And Kenny Kibbe has changed it up just a little bit on a couple of the restarts, bringing them down late. We'll see what he does here on this restart to complete 42.
And that's one of the beautiful things with iRacing. You can kind of change up your game plan each and every single time that we get a restart. And it works very well on the short tracks, the big tracks, all that good stuff. Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you go as early as you can. And a lot of the times the race officials will leave it up to the drivers. The boys have at it, as it were. And you can see we wait a long time, big time, hammer down. Oh, the 09 car spins the tires or misses a gear, doesn't quite get going, kind of stacks the field up in behind him, and Kibbe is able to drive away by a couple of car lengths. Ryan Libby now the second place driver.
Well, we should have wrecked about 15 there, and somehow we did not there. 3 wide, though, in the middle of the pack. Marhefka stuck to the outside, Salvatore, and Chalou to the inside. Charles Lewandowski trying to pick up a couple of spots here. Brett Roy in the middle of it, the 13, also trying to make his way through, but we probably should have stacked up about 15 cars there, but great piece of driving by those guys to keep off each other.
And that's one of the awesome things about the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing series. These guys all have seen each other at the racetrack. A lot of them have raced each other on the real racetrack, so they know how they're going to react. They know what their personalities are like, and they know just how they like to be raced and how they expect to be raced back, as we see Brent Roy on the outside here in the 26 car. In the 13th spot, he's up 10 spots on the night, but caution flag comes out once again. It looks like our in-race reporter might be pointing in the wrong direction.
Mike Hopkins, one more time, brings the yellow flag out, and we'll cue up the call, beer bong instant replay. And, well, he was pointed the wrong way for a little while and then got it straight, and then there was a caution.
Trying to be the life of the party, and there you see a little bit of a bump between the 78 and the 13, and the 17 gets into the back of the 78. The 81 gets a piece of him as well, and you can see he grabbed second gear, well, it looks like first gear, because he almost spun out, spinning the tires in the back of that race car, but gets it all sorted out. He's going to have to restart, though, from 25th, the last car on the lead lap, and that's going to be a long ways to go here as we approach the halfway marker.
If there's any good news, Paul, the car behind him is 35 laps down, albeit still on the racetrack, as Corey Casagrande, so nowhere to go backwards for Mike Hopkins right now, but plenty of room to go forward as he sits back in position number 25 with just half this race left to go. Field is going to, well, Libby's coming down. A little bit of a fake pit from the rest of these drivers, but Ryan Libby has decided to come down into pit road to get service.
Yeah, it almost looked like feeding time at the zoo. You saw the whole line getting ready to come down, and, well, a lot of the drivers feel that the only way to beat Libby is to try and do the opposite of what he's doing. So he's going to be the only driver down on pit road. A couple of drivers in the back, Dylan Kopech, Scott McDonald, down on pit road getting some service done to their machines. But Ryan Libby going to change 4 tires and have to restart back in about the 23rd, 24th position. And he's going to have 50-lap fresher tires than a lot of these drivers, well, than all of these drivers. So it's going to be very interesting as we take the restart here at halfway.
We'll see what he has work-wise as we'll come across and take the halfway point when we go back to green flag racing. And actually, yeah, the lights are still on, it looks like, on top of the pace car. So we're going to go green at the completion of 51. But of note, Corey Casagrande, free pass on this caution flag. If we get 34 more cautions, he is back on the lead lap. He is now 34 laps down.
Having a rough go of it is the number 7 car, but gives him the opportunity to kind of concentrate on the race official duties and puts on a heck of a show here with the NEPs League, along with all the other administrators here in the league, and it's always good to have these guys show up here on Verdane TV. We've got our stat sheets all printed out, ready to rock and roll. Everything's handed to us on a silver platter, and we just go out there and talk about racing, and it's pretty cool to witness these guys put on a heck of a show, and it's always great that they bring the thunder with the fan base. And always cool to have returning fans as well. I want to give a shout out to anybody out there watching on Facebook or watching on YouTube. That Facebook feed brought to you by Tim's Corner Motorsports, jumping up and sponsoring that this week, or this month rather. So special thanks to you, Tim. Green flag in the air. Kibby taking off like a shot.
And now U-House going to the inside, trying to pick up one more spot. Ricker to the upside, and we'll see if the upside does come into play here at all, or see if these guys can kind of make anything happen. Nice little shot there from the top of the tower as you see a little bit of side-by-side battle throughout the field, but it doesn't look like the outside line has come into play, at least at this point in the race, and still half the race to try to get it done.
And you're able to see a couple of these drivers are able to kind of almost dive bomb the outside, get a good run, and try and get maybe a position or two. But it doesn't mean that high line has quite come in just yet. And we may see it as these tires kind of wear out. You can see the Dale Kessler machine all over the back bumper of the Ryan Salvatore machine, number 12, trying to get up around him. He's going to jump up on the high side and try and follow the 22 of Marhefka around the hard way. And looks like they're going to grab that spot. Brent Roy up in there now trying to follow him in on the bottom side.
Big opportunity for Brent Roy to try to gain some points here with Keith Lord kind of having an up and down night. Point leader Stephen Daddio having an up and down night. Zane Farrell currently second in the standings, and he is up in the top 5 right now and moved up to position number 4 as he battles side by side with U-House. U-House stuck on the outside line, and a couple of cars on the inside trying to make it happen, led by the 14 of Zane Farrell. He will pick up position number 4, and U-House going a little bit wide down there in the corner number 1. Going to lose a couple more.
High, wide, and so handsome before that number 3 car. He's going to try and hold on to that top side. You can see Salvatore in the 12 getting a little bit loosey-goosey as Brent Roy down on the bottom side, trying to get around him. Oh, they make contact. They pancake each other. That's going to open the door for the 80, or the 10 car rather, Dale Glessner, but the caution flag is going to come out, and we'll see what exactly that was. It looks like it may very well have been the 46 of Ryan Libby.
Libby coming back through the field might have been the issue or the reason for the caution flag, but we will queue up the Colin Beerwrong instant replay. And Paul, what transpired here?
Well, we see Libby wants to be the life of the party now. Take an eye on the safe light number 46 Camaro, and you can see he gains a couple of spots, 6-7 cars, and just loses the back end of the race car. Almost has that thing corrected, but gets spun around, and does a phenomenal job making sure that he's out of the way of the racing groove, and everybody gets around him. But it looks like that's going to be it for the 46 car. The frustration setting in. He's going to sit down on pit road, and with the amount of laps left, that may very well move Corey Casagrande up into the top 25.
Paul, I don't know if we can take one more look at that incident, but I think the 44 of Scott McDonald got into the fence coming off at turn 3, or turn 2, and then kind of comes down the line. Maybe we can get an onboard shot with Ryan Libby on that one, because you see the brakes lock up on that race car, but I don't think he has a whole lot of time to react. You can see it right there. The 44 just barely gets into the fence coming off of the turn 2 and onto the back straightaway, and then kind of comes down as he's going to cut into the line, and the 46 has to get on the binders to avoid the 44 coming down, albeit just a little bit slower, by getting into the wall right here.
And that's one of those mishaps. You try and avoid calamity as we finally get the onboard shot. Finally found the button for it. And you can see the 46 already loose. He sees what happens. He tries to react to the 44. They do make a little bit of contact, but at this point the car already heading in the wrong direction, losing the back end. There's that points leader, Stephen Daddio. That car is tore up. He's looking like a modified today's in-race reporter as well, the 58, or the 78 rather, of Michael Hopkins. And there you can see Corey Casagrande able to drive on by on the high side. So led a bunch of laps up in the top 2 early on here tonight, and having a rough go of it here in the 46 car.
And this field getting ready to come back to the green flag, side by side, getting ready to see the pace car duck off, and Kibby is in control of the field one more time, brings him down slow. Peter's trying to wait for that restart. Green flag flies. We are back underway, and the 4 goes down into corner number 1.
John Peters doing a better job this time sticking with that 4 car. He's up on the high side trying to make it work. And if anybody in this field can do it, it'll definitely be the reigning defending 2-time champ John Peters in that 09 car. You can see really making that corner wide, turning hard down into the corners, trying to apex a little bit later than that 4 car and try and take all the advantage that he can here as we work lap number 64, 65 as we cross the strike.
The 09 of Peters to the back bumper. The 4, Kenny Kibbe, is a work around this racetrack, top 5 single file or so back to about Brent Roy, who's doing a little pushing and shoving a couple of body checks there. DeBulke on the outside to try to pick up a position. He's bringing Dale Glessner along with him. Dale has had an up and down season. Yellow flag is flown, and that's Marhefka in the 22 going around, and we'll bring him back down under caution with less than 40 laps to go. And that car looks like it has been through a war, and he lost the front end there with, somebody that lost the front end of the inside by the looks of it.
A little bit of a war of attrition here at the Bull Ring, and that's just short track racing. Here we can see the 22 and the 12 going in side by side. The 12 car gets a little bit of a shove, and you can see the back end comes around and just slaps the back end of the 22 car around. He's powered by milk, and he's slammed into the wall, and I guess there's no use crying over spilled race car, or however the saying goes here, Tim. But a lot of damage on that 22 car from Mahefka.
Yeah, so a tough break for the 22. He'll come down to pit road instantaneously, gets that quick repair, and that thing is beat back out, and it'll come back to the racetrack with less than 35 laps to go. But he'll have some work to do to get back up towards the front of the field. And Kibbe and Peters have been in control, and we kind of saw there on that last caution as Casagrande gets one of his 400,000 laps back. He is 33 laps down now, or check that, 32 laps down. So what you did mention, though, Paul, earlier is Ryan Libby is out of the race. As long as Corey can complete all these laps, he will pick up a position and pick up a couple of points on that one. But these two up front have been the life of the party. The guys behind them have kind of changed positions. Zane Farrell's got into the top 5. Brandon Uhouse has kind of been a yo-yo up and down throughout the top 5. Brett Roy knocking on the door. Austin Bulke has been just outside the top 5, hasn't had that run to really break into the top 5. This could be his opportunity. Lap 69 going to be completed here. Nice.
And lights are off atop the iRacing pace car, getting ready to go down to the safety of pit road. One up again. Gonna get another one of those corn dogs and ice cold Coke. Maybe a pulled pork sandwich. I wonder if they've got pulled pork sandwiches like they've got in Stafford Speedway. Man, I can't wait till the Sizzler. Getting ready to go green. The 4 on the inside gets the hammer down quicker than anybody else. He's going to pull away by 2 car lengths as they shoot on down to turn number 1.
Kenny Kibbe has been in control of these restarts, and Peters is able to take second. Battling behind him, there's a mess back there. That's Kyle Casagrande in the 7. We are still green flag racing somehow, though, but the middle of the pack has provided some great racing here this evening, and this is a great shot of it. 8 or 9 cars up front single file. Salvatore to the inside. He is side by side with the 17 of Keith Lord, and there is the caution flag, and there's the 13 around behind them.
DJ Gerard finding himself in trouble one more time here in that number 13 car, pulling out the Con Beer Bong instant replay. 28 laps to go here at the Bull Ring, and it's again a little bit of a war of attrition here at Las Vegas. We were giving Kyle Casagrande a little bit of trouble earlier on before the race here tonight. Didn't get the NEPs bet sheet put up in time before the race, and well, who would have called for this? There you can see the 13 car. Same thing we saw earlier on here tonight, and same thing we saw at Martinsville last night with the Loose Slugs Cup Series. These short tracks, these big stock cars, they get loose as they come out of turn 4, out of turn 2, and it's really tough to make sure you get that throttle just right to make sure that rear end of the race car doesn't come on around.
And Paul, there was a second incident on this one too, and it starts with the 99 of Steven Daddio. I think Gerard was slowing up for the yellow flag when he spun it out. Maybe a little too much brake bias in the car, but the 99 car gets a little contact. It's actually 2 incidents. It took a lap for this thing to really start to crop up. We'll see the replay here, and the 7 and the 9, I believe, already go back a little bit, Paul, because there's another incident back between the 7 and the 99. Even before that, the 99 car is going to be slow on the racetrack, and it's because he has got a little contact with the 7 on the first lap of the restart here.
And here we see it actually from the restart going into turn 1 rather. You can see Dylan Kopeck very aggressive on that bottom side, gets into that 7 car, who then in fact gets inside or gets in with the 99 car, and then it moves into that second incident up a little bit further on. So and there you can see Kopeck using that apron again, and looks like the 99 car just kind of slowed up there, and there you can see kind of turning the 22 car around, and that's what brought the caution flag out.
And just like that, we're coming back to green. The 4 of Kenny Kibbe and the 9 of John Peters going to see this green flag first. Jason Ricker in third, looking to pick up something here. But it's been a top 2 of Kibbe and Peters all night long. Green flag flies. We're back underway, and Ricker going to try to crack the code to the inside of John Peters, side by side for second.
Ford blasting off like he's a SpaceX rocket ship. 3-4 car lengths between he and the second place car of the 09. The 9 right in the tire tracks of John Peters. That's a good place to be here in the NEPs league, because that usually means you're running okay. You can see the 56 Evan Bollier on the high side trying to make it work for him, trying to get around the 14 car of the Island Boys, Zane Farrell, in that pretty pink race car for fourth.
And Brent Roy trying to make something happen to crack the top 5 and try to get his third and top 5 finish in 4 races this season in this Shift Marketing Design Grand National Series. But he's got 2x2 in front of him, and he's got to get by at least one of them to accomplish that goal. Getting closer to 20 laps to go here at the Bullring, 22 to work around here.
And you can see Brent Roy being very aggressive with the nose of that race car, letting Zane Farrell know he's there. You've already seen the past 2 or 3 laps, he's gotten right up and given him just a little bit of a shove to let him know that he's there. The old Ted Christopher rule: you hit once, let him know you're there. You hit twice, the third time you're spun around, and that's going to bring that's not going to bring the caution out. But we are under caution. It looks like Matt Kenfield in the 76 having some troubles.
Tough break for the 76. We'll queue up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay to see what happened to the 76, and I believe that that back straightaway wall got close, but I don't think he got it all.
Hey, you can see the car seems to be a little bit out of shape, comes out of the corner a little bit, scrapes the wall, and again loses the back end of the race car. As the fuel starts to burn off these race cars on these longer runs, it's gonna bring the weight of the back of the car up, or bring the weight down, bring the rear end of the car up. And that, with the throttle control and the older tires, I think that's what's going to cause a lot of these veteran drivers to kind of lose it as they come out of turn 2 like that.
I think we got a couple laps here. See if we can't dial up Mike Hopkins again, our in-race reporter. I know we've been busy under some of these cautions trying to dissect what happened here, but this one here is pretty cut and dry. So maybe see if we can catch up with the number 78. Mike, you got a copy?
What's going on, boys?
You've been busy tonight. Up at the front, out at the back, couple of 3 wide moves. Cars kind of tore up in the front. What's the outlook here for the last 19 laps?
Oh yeah, well, I wasn't super happy about getting dumped, running, I don't know, 4th or 5th or 6th, whatever it was. Voiced my displeasure on the microphone, but we're moving past that. Went to the back and slowly but surely kind of trying to get back up through here. So I'm on the outside again, and just going to try and keep it in one piece here. Maybe, I'm better than the 13. U-House is strong, but the 17's up there. Maybe scratch out a top 10. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing pretty good. It looks a little better than the race car is here. Do we make any 3 wide moves here at the end to try to pick up that top 10 run?
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, so probably not. I'm going to try and keep it as civilized as possible here, and maybe get a sip of the old Coors Light while we're at it.
Sounds like a plan. 16 to go. Go get him.
10-4.
That's Mike Hopkins, and Paul, he's got a great idea. Go over there and grab that cold beverage that you have. Take a little sip of it, because this one is going to be a fight to the end.
And Bedane TV always, always, always reminds you to drink responsibly and drink to enjoy. Green flag out one more time. Kibbe and Peters up in the front, battling for the lead, and you can see another great restart from the 4 car. But John Peters this time right there in his tire tracks. He's taking a look down on the inside here, Tim, trying to get up around that lead and side by side behind him.
The state of Maine well represented here with 3 drivers in the top 5. 2 of them are side by side. Jason Ricker trying to take that number 9 to the inside and hold on to that 3rd place position and get that podium, and the caution flag will come out one more time, and we're looking at Kyle Casagrande in the 7. So that might be and there's the 99. Was he involved in another caution? It's been a rough race for Mr. Daddio.
Yeah, I think the points leader is definitely getting ready to, he's telling the crew right now, get the hauler started, get everything loaded up. We want to get the heck out of Dodge here. The 99 involved in another one yet again here at the Bullring. You can see the 99 car down on the bottom. The 75 gets a little bit loose in front of him, and you can see Gets into the back bumper, gets him spun around. Kyle Casagrande does the same thing to the back of the 99 car, just nowhere for those guys to go. And you can see the 29 and Jeffrey Brown getting a little bit of a piece of the action as well. Wanted to get a little TV time for that number 29 car. I haven't talked about Jeffrey Brown all night long, but currently running in the 24th spot, but still on the lead lap, technically still able to win this race.
But he is running out of time to do so. They'll come by this time under caution and have only 12 laps to go. So a little bit of a war of attrition. The top 2, 3, 5 or 6 or so look fairly clean, and then everybody else has a battle scar, or at least a story to tell from this race. And they'll restart with about 10 laps to go. Corey Casagrande, I believe is still 30 laps down. And that lap will actually be 30 laps down. So he's got 5 laps back. We joked earlier that if we had 35 cautions, he'd be back on the lead lap. I don't think we're going to get to that point, Paul, but Corey's hoping for maybe 1 or 2 more to get back a little bit closer.
Yeah, 100%. And it's always fun to kind of tease these guys here in the NEPs League. And one of the things that you really need to get out there and do is you need to go check these guys out on Twitter. Just look up the NEPs Shift Grand Marketing. Yeah, easy. Just look it up. It's fine. Look up the NEP series on Twitter. It's great that these guys have such camaraderie, able to do a lot of trash talking out on the social media for these sim races. Really gets the fans involved and all the different racetracks and sponsors. And it's always cool to have the sponsors jump on board for these races here as well.
And we will restart this one with only 10 laps to go. A 10-lap heat race to the end of this one with Kibbe and Peters side by side. There goes Kenny Kibbe. Green flag flies. We're back underway, and now we'll see what happens with that battle for third. Does Jason Ricker get to the inside, is able to muscle maybe that 56 and maybe get to the 09 in the waning lap? So this one's top 4, top 5 single file. Brett Roy trying to roll the top.
You can see Zane Farrell starting to get a little bit more on the aggressive side, trying to get up to the back bumper of the 56, get up and around him, and you can see Jason Richter throwing the afterburners on as well, having to slow way up as he gets a great run entering the corners on the 09, but you can see John Peters just able to drive away at that point coming off the corners.
Yellow is on the speedway for the 12th time here this evening, and we'll slow the field down once again, and not again.
Yeah, it's so. That 99 car, more, I think he's just frustrated at this point. Having a rough go of it, coming in here to the bull ring as the points leader, not having the car you need, and you can see almost just overdrove that car into the corner, got in a little bit too hot. Didn't hit anybody, didn't hit anything, but it was enough for the track officials to throw the caution flag one more time. That 99 car struggling with the handling for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough break for your point leader, and especially near the end of this race, going to lose a few more spots and be back in 24th. He is the last driver currently on the lead lap. And for all the Corey Casagrande fans, he is back 1 spot up from where he was because he passed Ryan Libby in the 46, and I believe he is on pit road. He may have called it an evening, the 7CT, sitting on pit road in his box. So now we'll have another restart. About 4 laps, I believe, left to go. And Kibbe's been changing up the restarts here. Interested to see if he does decide to go earlier than he usually does or wait until that second line in that box to see the green flag fly. But this could very well be the final restart of the night.
And you can see everybody getting ready to line up 2 by 2 for, again, what could potentially be the final restart of the night. And a little bit of typical short track racing. Cautions do, in fact, breed cautions here really on anything less than a half mile. And I'm not sure how long this racetrack is, but you can see the big track there in the background all lit up. Tomorrow night's race at Las Vegas Speedway postponed until later on in the season. So a single header here at the Bull Ring. 1 race here tonight, and then we'll be racing again next week for sure, and lots of big time stuff coming up next week. We've got the TCM 300 second running of it on the Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Got some qualifying races, TCM Live on Wednesday. The Loose Lugs Cup Series coming back at us for Kansas on Wednesday night about 9 p.m. Eastern time. So lots of racing action coming up in the next week, and lots of big time events coming up here in the winter months to make sure we keep the racing motivation going and make sure everybody stays up on their toes, and we try to entertain the masses in the meantime. An early jump there for the 4 car though. Kibbe pulls away, and you can see John Peters really starting to get strong on that high side. He's able to hold on right to the back corner, back bumper of the 4 car.
They are 3 and almost 4 wide in behind, and that's not going to work. They're going to send one around. Are they going to get to the white flag, though? No, they are not. Caution flag will fly. They were so close to getting to the white flag, but there's one around, and that's Keith Lord. It started out as 3 wide. I believe, Paul, for a moment, they were 4 wide, and usually, especially here at the Bull Ring, as we have found out in the first 99 laps of this race, that does not work. What happened?
Yeah, you can see here from the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. A gag of the cars back here. Focus in. There's the bumper car action. Almost 4 wide. 3 wide for sure. A couple of different occasions there. You see the 13 gets into the back quarter panel of the Lord machine, the 17 New Hampshire, and slides them on up into the outside wall. Gets a little bit stuck there with some of the sheet metal. That guy in the bright orange shirt is not pleased. He's not even looking at that car. He is so upset with the 17, but he is able to back that thing off the fence, grab a gear, and get on rolling away. And it looks like he's actually going to lose a lap here, so might be down on pit road for a little bit of time.
And he is not happy with the 17 in session, and I do believe, actually, there was a little bit of extracurricular under caution, Paul, between the 13 and the 17, and the 17 has been disqualified and subsequently removed from the race session. So the 17 has been parked by race officials. He is done for the evening. And for a driver that was sitting third in points, that's not really a good look for him. As I believe we're trying to get back at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay to maybe take a look at what happened between those two drivers. And I'm not sure if we have it or not, but there was definitely some extracurriculars under the yellow flag between those two.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of points leaders having troubles here this evening, and Zane Farrell having a relatively good run. There you see him sitting in 5th. May very well walk away with the points lead here tonight, depending on how this final restart gets down. Going to get a restart with 3 to go. Green, white, checkered. And we don't know who's going to win. The 4, the 09, Kibbe and Peters have been strong all night long. Ricker and Bully are there in 3rd and 4th. They've been up in the top 5 all night long. And the next row back, Zane Farrell and Brent Roy. A couple of quick race car drivers as well. So this is going to get good here, Tim, for sure.
Who will come out with the win and who will come out with the point lead? Because row number 3, I believe, may end up being the point lead unless Jason Ricker can come up here and make something happen with these two in front of him. Green, white, checker. Attempt number 1 as they come through 3 and 4, and this is the only attempt at it, so we'll see who comes out on top. Kenny Kibbe gets a great jump, and John Peters spins the tires one more time, and to the back Jack goes the 09, and he's going to get contact with Brent Roy, and that is going to be the race.
Caution flag comes out, the race is over, and heartbreak for John Peters. Another poor finish after running in the podium up all night long, and unfortunately gets a little bit of contact, gets loose, makes contact with that Brent Roy machine, and sends both drivers to the tail end of the field. But the story of the night, the 4 car strong all night long. Kenny Kibbe going to cross the line here, take that checkered flag, and take the win here at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas.
I don't know if we can go back and take a look at that incident, but you remember, Paul, how we said earlier that 4 wide doesn't work at the Bull Ring?
Yes, I do recall.
This is going to be another incident of 4 wide does not work at the Bull Ring. The 3, I believe, of U-House was stuck in the middle with nowhere to go on this one after they all wrecked in behind. But we'll take a quick little look at it here. Keep your eye on the 26 and the 3. The 50 or the 09 spins the tires. He's up out of the way, and he's about up out of the way as you can get here, Paul. The 3 goes to the inside. The 26 kind of goes straight into the corner. Knowing the 3 is there, but also knowing the 09 is there, and there's 4. The 10's to the inside, the 24's to the inside, and square peg, round hole. Oh, look, Mike Hopkins got through one tonight. Look at that.
How about that? Gonna have to see if the 99 car made it through that one as well. But tough break for the points leader. The 3rd place driver in points coming into the night, ejected from the race, being scored with last place points. But the story of the night, Kenny Kibbe comes home with that checkered flag. We're gonna talk to these top 3 drivers here as well, and I believe let's see if we can't catch up with some of these drivers here.
See if we can't get a couple of them in here. Let's chat with our winner, Kenny Kibbe. Kenny, it looked a little bit easy from up here. Started up front, led all the laps, but How important were those restarts? Because we saw you mixing them up a couple of times as to where to get on the gas. How important were the restarts?
Yeah, I mean, they were everything. I mean, it was the only time I was really next to somebody, so I had to make sure I got a good jump, and it about halfway through started to get a little bit of wheel spin, so I had to change things up a little bit, and kind of eliminated going earlier in the corner because I was getting too much wheel spin when I was turning the wheel too much. So just had to get a good jump, and also I would have a shallow line into turn 1, so I needed to have a really good turn 1 and 2 and make sure nobody could get to my inside or cross me over or something like that, which almost happened a few times, but we were able to get it done.
This season, at least at the start, hasn't really gone the way that you've wanted to, but this will help you dig out of a little bit of a hole. How big is this momentum-wise to really shift it towards the good side?
Yeah, I mean, last few weeks we've been on the upside, and we've had top 5 pace every single week. The first 2 or 3 races just didn't go our way, and but then the last couple have gone our way, and we got into the podium, and now my first win. I'd never won in the Grand National Series before, so yeah, this is huge. I mean, we're on the up and up, like I said last week or last race, and yeah, this is a big one.
So with the postponement of tomorrow night's race, not going to race here tomorrow night, but I believe the next one that we have is next Thursday at Watkins Glen. What do you got for the road course?
Well, I really like road course racing. Myself and Austin do pretty well in the NEP Endurance League that we have run on the off season. So I'm looking forward to it. I really like Watkins Glen. I don't necessarily care for stock cars at all road courses, but Watkins Glen is one that I enjoy. So if we can keep it clean, I think we have just as good of a shot at it as anybody.
It might be bad news to the rest of the field. Who do you got in this race car? Who helps you get to the racetrack every week?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody at the NEP group that puts this league on, the Shift Marketing and Design, you guys at Vidane TV for putting these broadcasts on, everybody that likes to watch these races, and everybody likes to ride on board with me when I stream these on Twitch. But yeah, we'll head on to the next one, and hopefully we can get more wins.
Great performance tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Kenny Kibbe, your winner here this evening for the 4th race of this season. And Paul, we'll see who we can catch up with next and try to grab our second place finisher. You caught up with Jason Ricker.
Yeah, Jason, a great run here tonight, coming in the top 5 in points here for the race number 4 at the Bull Ring and leaving with a podium finish, P2. How did it feel in that 9 car here tonight?
That was a slugfest. That was a lot of fun, trying to stay third most of the race. Kenny really could get good restarts on us there. Couldn't quite get that figured out. Kept spinning the tires a little bit, but my point of view weren't too bad. Just stay on the bottom, stay out of trouble, and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little bit of bumping and banging and a little go-kart action or bumper car action up towards the front, but still relatively clean and green. And we saw the 09 car up and towards the front. John Peters, reigning defending 2-time champion, struggling all season long. Is that something that, as a driver, as a competitor, you're keeping an eye on throughout the rest of the season?
Johnny will snap this bad streak pretty quick. He's always one to watch. I learned a lot from him. He's a good friend of ours, mine. I wouldn't count him out just yet.
100%. But very much the opposite here for the 9-car. Ricker picking up a lot of momentum here. Again, a good finish coming in top 5 in the points here. Definitely don't do it alone, I'm sure. You got any friends, family, sponsors, teammates, anybody out there watching here, say hello. The floor's all yours.
Thanks. RKM Setup Shop, Studio 10 Graphics, make the car look real sharp. 229 Autosports, Evan, John, Brett Roy, Dan Winters, Wyatt Alexander, who's missing half the time, Jam. All them guys helped me out a lot. I'm kind of new to this whole sim thing, so it's real fun having them guys in a Discord or something with you to teach you what you're doing right and wrong.
Yeah, the community aspect and the camaraderie, definitely a tight-knit group in the sim racing world, and it's always cool to kind of get support from your fellow peers. So it's good to see that here, and we get that a lot here with the NEP series. But On to the next one. Great run here tonight. Second place for Jason Ricker. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, and I think we've caught up with the third place driver. Tim, you got the pretty pink race car, Zane Farrell.
Yeah, Zaney comes from 17th all the way up to 3rd tonight. But, Zane, I want to ask you about that final restart because you were sitting in 5th and all of a sudden you end up in 3rd. What did you see for that 3/4 of a lap that we had there?
Well, I saw the 09 spin his tires and just capitalized and just kind of hit the gas when everybody else didn't.
This was a slugfest, as Jason Ricker kindly called it, and coming from 17th to 3rd, recap your night for us. How did you get from the middle back of the pack all the way up here?
Well, I just kind of took it easy. I didn't really want to get into any wrecks. I gave a lot of room. I really wanted to be on the bottom because I think the bottom was the preferred lane to be in on the whole track, but just kind of took advantage of some guys spinning out, and a lot of guys backed up on the outside, took advantage of it.
And looking here at the end of this deal, top 4 in points, you're the only one to really come out with a decent finish out of all this. It's real early in the season, but how neat is this to start off the first half of the season with this momentum?
Pretty good. Last year we kind of struggled for the first couple races, and we after I think it was Watkins Glen, that's when we started our climb up the standings, and we went from like 13th or 14th in the standings last year to 6th or something. I can't remember, but it's good to start off this year like this. A lot of guys, a lot of the top dogs having problems, and I've won championships in real life just biding my time and being smart. And I won a championship winning one race, but I top 5 everybody else to death. So.
And looking at the schedule, obviously tomorrow is postponed, so the next one that's scheduled is the next Thursday, which is the Zaney Does the Glen 30. So can we continue that trend of doing good at the Glen and picking up maybe a checkered flag and moving forward?
I'd like to hope. I messed up. I'm sorry. I really have that one circled. I have that one circled every year. The road courses are always circled. I love going racing road courses. I always credit my success to former NEP racers, Tim and Matt Shinowski, about my road racing experience, because they got me into road racing. I remember my first official road race was, well, one of the first official big ones I did was the 24 Hours at Daytona, and I had so much fun doing it, and I was just like hooked from there on in. And it's kind of nice to see the success I have there translate over to the stock cars, but it's a lot of fun wrestling these cars around the road courses.
And we look forward to covering it here next Thursday evening. Who do you got in the race car? Who helps you get to the racetrack each week?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my fiance, my sister, my brother-in-law, my sponsors, Cascaretti Builders, Martinelli's Auto Service, YRD Designs, Linda Brown's Floral, everybody that helps us get to the track every week.
That's Zane Farrell. 3rd place finish here this evening. Congratulations. We'll see you at the Glen.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
There you go, Paul. Great top 3 and great effort here by these NEPs guys. Couple of cautions, but it's the bull ring. It is what it is. And we will see a lot of the bull ring here next week with the TCM 300 and the RKM Setup Shop qualifying nights on Monday and Tuesday, and then the 300 coming up on Friday. Shameless plug, sign-up's still open for that one. We're at 49, I believe, so far. So a busy week next week, and kind of caps off this week here, but we got some more stuff coming up. East Coast Winter League's coming up, isn't it?
That's right. Sunday kicking off season number 3 for the East Coast Winter League. Dylan Kopak and company getting ready to kick that off. They had over 85 drivers try and attempt to qualify for just 50 spots to get them into the races on Sunday nights, starting this week, and see if we maybe can't catch up with Dylan, get a shameless plug in for the East Coast Winter League here this Sunday night.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Dylan? We just telling the fans out here, East Coast Winter League, we got some tour modifieds coming up, and man, 85 drivers almost qualifying or attempting to qualify for 50 spots on Sunday night. A lot of momentum heading into this series. What's on your mind?
Just slowly gathering everything I need to get this first race off the ground. I have a new layout, and it's allowing 50 drivers to come try and race with us every week, and that is with an A main and a B main, so it kind of separates those guys that are still looking to learn how to league race, and then there's the A main for like the more advanced people.
So really looking forward to all that action here on Sunday nights, and I imagine there's still room for sponsorship. Anybody out there wants to get in on the East Coast Winter League or even the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group, how would they get in contact with you?
They can message me. If they look up East Coast Winter League on Facebook, you'll see me. I post a lot in there. Just look for Dylan Kopech, and if not, you can message me on iRacing, but I'll probably check Facebook more.
So really looking forward to that. A 12-race season here on Sunday nights. A little bit of tour mod action to entertain the masses throughout the cold winter months here. And those cold winter months coming up, folks, get out there, buy yourself a Vidane TV sweatshirt, www.vidane.shop. We got Vidane TV, we got Rent a Race Car, Angry Tree Guy, all sorts of cool stuff in that shop. Be sure to check it out. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts. I even think there's some leggings in there, so definitely check them out. They don't make my size, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But I digress. A great race here at the Bull Ring, and that's going to do things up for us tonight. We race again here with the NEP Series next Thursday night when Zany does the Glenny for 30 laps at Watkins Glen. We'll catch you on the flip side when we do. We're going to be doing it live.